It's hard to know exactly whether or not a girl's interested in you when you first start talking to her because, like I said earlier, when a girl first meets you, she doesn't know you're cool yet, right? And she also doesn't know if she's compatible with you, if she likes you. Also, she could be in a relationship. She could have already had some other guys come and talk to her that night that were like rude or gross or something like that, and so she's extra like on edge. She might have had a bad day, right? Maybe someone in her family died or something, you know? You just don't know. And so when you're walking up to a girl you've never met before, like even if you walked up to me and you didn't know me before, you're still gonna have a little bit of like not quite being sure of you or her or how it's gonna go, right? And so what you need to do is, again, remember that you just don't know how it's gonna go, but you also know that if you don't go at all, nothing's gonna happen, right? And so you go up. Now, you've got to basically assume that for the first sort of minute, even 5 minutes or so of conversation with a girl, that she may not even give you any positive feedback at all, right? She might just look at you like, I don't know if girls like to do this, but it seems like they kind of do. They kind of look at you sometimes like all suspicious and like frowning at you and trying to figure you out, because what they're trying to do in the first few minutes is figure out, does this guy's body language and his words and actions, everything, does it all line up and make sense? Because he came up and he started confidently, but can he maintain that, right? So was it actually really a confident guy, or was he just able to pretend it and fake it for a little bit, right? So what they do is they kind of put the heat on you a little bit and try and see, like, test you a little bit. Is he really like a legitimately cool, confident guy, or is he just kind of pretending a bit? And so that's what they'll do. So in terms of conversation or percentage of conversation, how much she responds is not actually a direct relationship to how like attracted to you she is. All right. I've had girls where I've like even girlfriends where I've walked up to them and started talking to them, and for the first maybe minute or a couple of minutes they didn't say a word. They just looked at me like all suspicious and stuff. But eventually they get curious sometimes, hopefully, and they start thinking, who is this guy that he's so confident that he can just keep talking and not need any positive reinforcement from me, and he still believes he's good enough. All right, and so they get curious, and eventually you chip away at them a little bit, and they might sort of get curious about something you say or ask you a question, and slowly they get more and more involved. Some girls are just a bit more introverted and they won't talk at all or very much, right? Some girls find you so attractive that they're too scared to say something in case they mess it up, right? Which is a problem a lot of guys don't realize that they're going to have once they get really good at this stuff. So like how much a woman contributes back in conversation is not really a good indicator of how attracted to you she is. But one of the best indicators one of my mentors actually shared with me was he would say, if the girl's still there, it means there's still a chance, right? Because if she doesn't like you, like girls aren't really shy about telling you if they don't like you, right? They'll sneak off and go to the toilet. Or I got to go to the toilet. Or I got to get a drink. I got to go dance. I got to meet my friends, right? They'll give you all these, if they don't like you, they'll just go, or they'll say, go away, right? And so if she's still there, it's because she's choosing to be there more, like she wants to be there more than to go, right? So that's the best indicator you have, but that's really dependent on the fact that you're actually pushing the interaction forward. So if she's still there, but you're not pushing it forward and showing her you're attracted to her and getting physical and stuff like that, she might just stay there because she's enjoying the conversation. So it's important that you actually try and move the interaction forward and progress it and get it more intimate and flirt with her and stuff like that, so she knows that the interaction's about you and her maybe moving things forward, so that she will leave if she's not into that, so you're not wasting your time with the wrong girl.